And welcome back. I'm always a little hesitant when I see that start. Last week, it started exactly when I thought it started. And it threw me off because I was like, oh, I don't know. And it scares me because it waits like 2 or 3 seconds before it actually starts ticking the recording clock. It terrifies me. But here we are. We're here with another episode. How's everybody doing today?
Chilling.
The same old crew.
Yeah.
Two of my favorite people in the world.
Shift in Minecraft while we pod so I can have maps ready for the server.
Fair enough.
Productive use of time. Multitask. High energy tonight.
I'm pulling something up on my other monitor. I'm sorry.
What's up, Russell?
I forgot to do it before. How you doing, Russell?
The meme
Guys,
master himself.
Yes. I don't think we mentioned it last week, but just as a reminder, we are still streaming live Wednesdays, twitch.tv/NightmareCV. You can watch us podcast live. For those of you who listen only to the audio, we do have the podcast going live on YouTube every week on our YouTube channel. And for those who watch the YouTube channel, you can also listen to the podcast, anywhere you listen to podcasts. So that's something. I realized like my mustache was like, I was like, no, don't.
Going for a little Western mustache twirling villain there. Perfect. Yep. If you touch it again during the podcast, I'll slap you through the monitor.
Oh, I'd like to see you try. They call me Headley Lamar. It's pronounced Headley. Oh, God, Blazing Saddles. What a great movie. We can make a podcast about that. Guys, I know. I don't really know. I played some stuff this week. This has been a weird week for me. Like, I was trying to play stuff, and I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to play a lot of stuff. Didn't. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to write a lot of stuff. Didn't. It's been kind of like a down week, It's one of those weeks. It sounds like you're feeling the same way.
I only played 2 games, but I feel like my time of games played is up.
Okay, fair enough.
What games did you play?
Divinity with you guys and a bunch of Minecraft.
Nice. Yeah, you're like a architect for hire in Minecraft at this point.
Something like that. I'm impressing myself.
You know it's good when he's impressing himself.
That boy's good.
I've been playing a couple things. So last week I said that I had started Age of Calamity, or I was about to start Age of Calamity, Hyrule Warriors on Switch. Mm-hmm. Finished that since then. Final say will be going up. When does the podcast go up?
Thursday.
The final say will also be going up Thursday as well, which you'll see alongside the podcast. That game is not what you think it is. It's a Warriors game, but the story goes in places I didn't expect for a prequel. It took me about 25 hours to beat the main story. And then I've put in double that just clearing the map of like icons and upgrades and stuff. So I'm at about 50 hours on the game right now, and I'm almost done. I probably have a few more hours left of just kind of getting some materials, but it's a really well-made Warriors game. I know that the original Hyrule Warriors, the Switch Definitive Edition version, ran at 60 frames per second docked. This game definitely has some frame rate problems, but the environments are also a lot more complex than what was in the original Hyrule Warriors as well.
I have the original one.
Do you have it on Switch or
Switch?
Yeah. And I actually ordered that once I found out I was so into Age of Calamity, so that's on its way in. But yeah, it's Breath of the Wild is going to be a trilogy now, and with the way these first 2 games have turned out, could be my favorite gaming trilogy of all time, depending on how Breath of the Wild 2 turns out. I really, really liked Age of Calamity and what they did with it.
I feel like they'd have to do a lot to mess up Breath of the Wild too.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
they laid such groundwork for that I don't know what the hell you do to ruin that.
If you keep the story on par and you just populate the map with some more stuff, I feel like it's good. But I don't feel like they should populate it too much. I feel like the space in between stuff has a mystique to it. Like that's like one of my biggest problems with like Fallout 4 is that everything is just right on top of each other. There's no like mystery or discovery because everywhere you step is like another thing, another thing.
Yeah, yeah, I'm totally with you on that. I think the empty space adds a lot to the open world in that game. And in Age of Calamity, it feels like it's obviously a Warriors game, but it feels like a Zelda game. Like Koei Tecmo did a really, really good job working closely with Nintendo. Like the art style's on point. They have the same voice actors from Breath of the Wild. You get a lot more time with the four champions from Breath of the Wild since it is a prequel taking place right before the fall of Hyrule. And just all of the story in the game is just fantastic. I know that there were some people, like some fans of Breath of the Wild, who really didn't like what they did with the story with Age of Calamity, but I absolutely loved it. There were some crazy twists in there that I was not expecting. I was expecting just a standard, just telling of what happened, and there was a lot more than that. So, so yeah, I highly, highly recommend it. Nat, did you finish Breath of the Wild?
I got pretty far. I didn't finish Breath of the Wild,
Yeah.
to be honest. There's
Chris,
just so
did you?
much in that game. Like, I got the Master Sword. I believe. I don't think I got the Master. I got some crazy sword, I think, and
Yeah.
I was like pretty far in the game, but there was something like it was like the Thunder, fucking boss or whatever it was. I really just couldn't figure it out, and then I kept trying to cheese my way into Hyrule Castle. I've put so much hours into that game. It's weird to think that I haven't beat it, but I haven't beat it.
Yeah, I was just looking at friends' profiles the other day, and I saw you've actually put more hours into Breath of the Wild than I have.
Oh yeah, I play that game all the time, just fucking around. I have so much hours. Like I spent maybe 4 hours one day chasing, like one of the shooting dragon star thingy. I don't know what those things are called.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah,
Breath of
the
the
three
Wild is fun
dragons.
because I know what happens in the story, but other than that, I haven't really got spoiled anything. So there's a lot of time. Like every time I pick up the game, I feel like I do discover something new, which is great.
Nice, nice. Chris, I
Like
wasn't going
that's
to
the
ask if
issue for me for games because I feel like everything gets spoiled so easy.
Yeah, that's true. Chris, I wasn't going to ask if you beat it because I know you haven't beat it. Did you ever beat any of the Divine Beasts at all? Did you get that far at
I
all?
beat the first one. I think I left off in the desert. Like I was in the
Gotcha.
desert going to that one,
Mm-hmm.
and I just kind of fell off the game for some reason. I started playing something else and I just didn't go back, and I was like, all right, I'm just kind of done. But like it's definitely a game that I want to go back to, and I do want to finish it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like finding the time in this mass of all these games I'm not playing, like
Yeah.
ask me how Bravely Default 2 is. I haven't played it.
It's not good.
Don't play. Did you play it?
Yeah.
Well, you played Bravely Default 2?
Not Bravely Default 2. What is the other one? Not Bravely Default 2. What are the games in that series? Because I had the original.
There's
And I
Bravely
Bravely
Second
Default.
and Bravely Default.
Yeah.
yeah. Let me make sure I'm not besmirching its name.
Yeah. Bravely Default and then Bravely Second and then Bravely Default 2. Stupid names. It's like they took cues from Microsoft.
I would get up. I don't want to get up, but I'm pretty sure I have the first one, which I like, and the second one I do not like.
Two were on 3DS, I believe.
So
this one's on Switch.
There's a game by them that I have. I don't think it's called Bravely Default. Why am I drawing a blank?
Well, Chris, I do recommend you go back at some point.
I should.
And put some more time in.
I should.
Especially with Breath of the Wild 2 whenever it's coming out. Hopefully it's early next year.
I have Bravely Default for 3DS, and I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
And
see, I did not like.
Well, there's another. There was another game by that I got because I was so excited. It's Bravely Default, and it was a shitty game. Well, I didn't enjoy it. I should say.
I really didn't like the first Bravely Default. Like, when it comes to a JRPG, it needs to have a good story for me to be invested. And like, I felt like the first Bravely Default was all gameplay mechanics, no like very standard generic story. And so like after like 8 or 10 hours, I think I just totally fell off and just completely lost interest. But
I really want to get up and look at what game that is, but
I know I can tell it's bugging you.
yeah, I'm looking for it right
now. So yeah, Age of Calamity, Final Say going up same day you're listening to this, and then I've also been playing Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time 3D. Never actually beaten Ocarina of Time, so I'm playing that on
Octopath Traveler.
Oh yeah,
fucking hate Octopath Traveler.
Oh, I love Octopath Traveler. That's see, it's the same thing with Bravely Default, where it's like gameplay mechanics over story, but I like the gameplay mechanics more in Octopath than I do Bravely Default.
Gameplay mechanics in Octopath Traveler. Like with the Burning Passion, so much so it was just very distracting from the gameplay. I just couldn't get into it.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
I stopped checking my map, like making my maps in Minecraft to go check that. I was like, I need to know what fucking game this is because I hate that
shit. Oh god. So yeah, Ocarina of Time.
Travel. I'll send it to you in the mail. I fucking hate that game.
I already have it. Ocarina of Time. I'm about I think I'm about a third of the way through. First time playing, so really enjoying that. It holds up, and it's actually a case with the 3DS of I feel like the 3D really enhances the game. Mm-hmm. It really, because obviously the graphics look a lot better than they did on N64, but they're still like pretty standard. But when you turn on the 3D, it actually looks like amazing. So yeah, it's kind of what I've been playing. It's mostly been on a Zelda kick. Been watching like Zelda challenge, Breath of the Wild challenge runs and stuff, which has been really interesting. So
I know we bonded last week about finding our 3DSs, and I was going to say, I know every time somebody brings up 3DS, I always bring up Phoenix Wright, but that game on the new 3DS with the 3D on looks so fucking good.
Yep, I have it installed. Yep, I played through when it first came out. I'll never delete it. I'll never delete the 3DS one, and I'll never delete the collection.
I want to play through it again, and I need to get a DS charger. I still haven't done that. That's just very low on my list of things I need to buy. So I'm like, this could wait.
Yeah, true.
Fair enough.
But yeah, that's what I've been playing, and that's kind of what I plan on continuing to play probably over the course of the next week.
I was going to say, every couple months I pick up Breath of the Wild and go to that weird survival island where they strip you all your stuff.
Even try
to beat it, yeah.
Yeah.
I can't beat that shit. I don't know. I just...
Oh, really? Yeah. In the DLC, they added something called the Trial, or like the Trial of the Master Sword or something, where it's a similar challenge, but basically when you beat it, your Master Sword is always at like the 60 power that it is in dungeons, as opposed to the 30 power, which is cool. But yeah,
I have all the DLC for that game. I just need to play it.
Yeah, for sure. And then for Age of Calamity, they did just announce the expansion pass too. So first wave of content is coming in June, and then the second wave in November. So
if I have a complaint about Breath of the Wild, you know what the complaint is? Climbing is too much fun. I want to try and climb my way through everything. That's probably why I have more hours than you in the game, because I literally try to climb everything. I got into the lava village without getting the necessary stuff. I just cheesed my way in there.
Yeah.
I got a bunch of like stuff to put out fire and stuff, and like heat cooling food, and I just bombarded my way in there, and then bought armor once I was in there that was like heat resistant. So to find somebody and get it, but I couldn't find it, and I didn't want to look it up because I don't want the game to be spoiled. So I just like, no, fuck this, I'm gonna cheese my way. So I spent like maybe 6 hours just trying to get to the top of that fucking mountain.
I kind of had a similar thing, because they only sell the armor inside the village, but one thing that I didn't catch, or I didn't talk to the right NPC, is that there's a stable, a horse stable at the base of the mountain, and someone will sell you fireproof elixirs that'll make you fireproof for like 6 minutes at a time. So I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
So I tried to just go as fast as I could, died. So then I spent like an hour and a half or 2 hours just cooking up food.
Oh, that's what I did as well.
I just burned to death and then ate and then kept running.
Yeah, I just kept doing that, like opening the menu as you're burning and eating the food.
Yep.
And I had the rebirth thing. So like I think I died twice, but I had like 2 rebirth skills or whatever from like the elephant and like, got like the water goddess or whatever her name is.
Yeah. That's exactly what I did too. It was just like a mad sprint, and then I got to the village, and I was like, "Please have enough rupees."
I seen the fucking big rock dude, and I was like, "Hey, I finally see you!" And I was just like, burning in the cutscene, just like no clothes on because any clothes like gets too hot, and you drop your items because the, like metal gets too hot, so you can't like have like barely anything on. It's just is the worst.
Yeah, if you have anything
wooden at the same time, because it's so rewarding when you feel like you get through it.
Yeah, and like if you have anything wooden equipped, it'll just catch on fire. If you have a bomb, if you take out a bomb arrow, it'll just automatically explode in your face because of the heat. It's in the DLC, the second DLC, the Champion's Ballad. Once you play through that, you actually no like story spoilers, but you basically get like way shortened cooldowns on all of the champion's abilities. So like the Desert Chief Urbosa, like her ability, like you can use it 3 times, and then it was like a 10-minute cooldown. And when you beat the DLC, I think it goes to like 2.5 or 3 minutes. It's pretty cool, and it does that for all of them too. So,
that game, I'm always doing something stupid, like trying to climb towers. Like I climbed the tower near Hyrule Castle that I wasn't supposed to be able to climb because it was filled with too much stuff, and I just like sat there way early. Like this is way early. This is before I even beat the desert thing. I was there trying to climb it, and I like schemed my way up there, and then glided my way into Hyrule Castle until you had to fight the 2, like it was like the Thunder one. You know, I had to fight all of them in a row. I got basically that part, and I couldn't beat them, so I left.
Yeah, but it is super cool how like once you get off the plateau, you can just go straight in there, and like if you're good enough, you can just beat the game.
I got
in, like,
pretty far, but you know what
minutes.
it is? If I knew what I knew now about the Thunder one, I could have beat it. I couldn't beat the Thunder one. I didn't realize that I should throw metal weapons at him, and he'll shock himself. I don't know why I didn't compute that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought of that. For what it's worth, that wouldn't have dawned on me in a million years to throw metal weapons at him. I would think, why would he shock himself? He's electric. You know, like
I couldn't think of it, so I kept dying on the actual Thunder boss, like when you're in the sky. And that's low key why I took a long break from the game, and then I picked it up one day, then threw a weapon at him. I was like, "Fuck you!" And then it did so much damage. I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, I
was so mad but happy at the same time. I was like, "I can play this game. I love it."
Yeah, I don't know if I would have thought of it beforehand, but like a couple of the shrines I hit before I fought the electric guy for the first time. Like one of them was just trying to get currents to these 2 terminals on the walls.
I know,
and they were like,
what you're talking about, yeah.
And there were like not enough boxes in the room to do it. So I just like took out and dropped metal weapons to make the connections, and that's how I solved it. And I love how
I did that. I think I didn't even think I did it that way. I think I like just got the door open long enough and like sprinted over to the door and like slid through or something. I think I did something like that, but I don't think I solved it the way, because I think I was talking to somebody else and it was like, yeah, you're supposed to just use metal weapons. And I was like, what the? I didn't know that until after I beat the boss, and I was telling somebody about the same problem I had where I couldn't beat the boss for mad long and just put the game down. But I don't talk too much people about it because I genuinely enjoy just like experiencing that game.
Yeah, and it's like it's one of those kind of games where everyone has their own story about how they did a particular thing, and like they're all unique. There's multiple ways to solve almost everything in that game. It's
surfing down mountains is so much fun in that game.
Yeah, shield surfing, and you can do like this. You can do like a spin trick and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome, man. And
Like that mechanic is way more robust than it should be. Surfing
right?
on a shield.
Yeah, and it's like the durability always
Breath of
comes
the
into play
Wild
too.
2021 Game of the Year.
Yeah, pretty much. It's I need a breath.
Look on Chris's.
I was yawning. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know what it is.
And then
The moment we started, my body was just like, "Hey, you know what? You should just start yawning."
I figured we'd talk about Zelda to take up some time.
No, you're fine. It's just this is a me problem, not a you.
Zelda, like Breath of the Wild. I love
drinking my water.
It's amazing how like being able to climb anything seems like such a revolutionary feature.
That's why I bought that game, to be honest.
Yeah,
the climbing thing, just because I love shit like that. If you're gonna give me the opportunity to cheese something, I just look at it as a challenge. It's like, oh, I'm gonna fucking break this game.
Yeah,
it's like someone at Nintendo played Skyrim and we're like, wait, what if we made this a mechanic?
No, what they did play
people trying to jump over mountains.
Dungeon.
It's like, what if we just let them do that?
Darkest Dungeon, and it's like, what if not only you could climb the monsters, but you can climb everything? I mean, not Darkest Dungeon. The Capcom game. Why am I drawing a blank?
Dragon's Dogma.
Dragon's Dogma.
Yeah.
Underrated game.
Yeah, that's on my backlog to play at some point. But
so my backlog to beat. I played a bunch of it, but I never beat it. Literally because I got a mission where I needed to trek across the map, and I didn't put a teleport crystal where I needed to go, and I like did the math on like how long it's going to take me to walk there. And I was like, fuck this game. The teleport system in that game is so bad. That's my one critique about that game. Otherwise, I love that game.
Yeah. Next time you turn on Breath of the Wild, since you do have the DLC, there's on the map screen, I think there's something called like Hero Mode or Hero's Journey or something. And you tap the button, and it literally shows you the path you've taken throughout your entire time playing the game. It like on a line throughout the entire map, like up to 200 hours. It'll show everything.
Getting my 3DS. I'm kind of curious of like what that looks like.
Oh, your Switch, yeah. Go for it.
Switch.
Yeah.
I'm literally about to finish this one section. Actually,
this is a Zelda. This is Breath of the Wild week. Oh man.
Oh, he has it right there. Okay, he's not
there you
going
go.
far. I wasn't sure how far he was going to have to go for it.
Yeah,
He's just got it. Okay. Nat grabbing the Switch, making sure that it's charged. Uh-oh, it's taking him a little bit. It might not have a charge, Ross.
Oh no, you hate to see it. It happens to the best of us, though. Yeah. It's It
looks like he might be trying to give it a brief little charge. He might be just trying to look at the map. Maybe he's going to come back and report to us. Nat's on his way back.
Oh, it looks.
He does have the Switch. I think he was finding the game, Ross. He was finding the game.
He needed the cartridge.
Excellent.
He needed the cartridge.
He needed it. All right, Nat is just now realizing that we've been narrating everything he's been doing this whole time. And
let me just tell you guys something impressive about Breath of the Wild. No other Switch cartridge that tastes like Breath of the Wild.
I remember when Jeff Gerstmann put that in his mouth.
I had to confirm.
He did it. He did it for all of us. He did it so we wouldn't have to, but then we did it anyway. I didn't.
Oh God!
Mother is just a generic bitter. Breath of the Wild though is like a special kind of bitter.
A special kind of bitter.
Yeah, it's called poison.
I want a ginger.
Yeah, they put in some interesting stuff in the DLC. Like they added in Master Mode, which I'll never touch. Everything's harder. Everything takes longer to kill, and enemies regain health if you don't hit them for a while. Which sounds like an absolute nightmare. Also spawns Lionels on the Great Plateau, which is rough. But man, yeah, I just want to talk.
How do I do this, pal?
Bring up the map
Very
screen,
carefully.
and then you should see all the buttons across the bottom, and one of them should say like Hero's Journey or something.
For example, this is how much health and stuff I have, but I haven't gamed it.
Oh, here we go. Okay, I'm leaving my mic here so it doesn't glitch out, but I'm gonna go get my Switch.
if anybody's wondering, my Switch is right there. For those for those on the audio podcast, everyone is leaving to go get their Switches. Mine's next
don't
to me,
remember how
but
to
I just
open my
don't.
map.
I just don't care right now. I also have one over there. I have two.
How do I open my map? I forgot.
Very carefully.
I think it's minus.
There we
Thought
go.
it was-
Hero's Path.
Hero's Path, and then you can like adjust how fast it goes, but it'll literally show you everywhere you went and every death up to 200 hours.
Everywhere we go, people want to know.
We are the Titans.
Mighty, mighty Titans.
Man, what a great movie. I haven't seen that movie in years.
I watched it last year, I think.
There you go.
Well, it's still going.
Oh yeah. It's kind of dumb and amazing that they put this in the game.
It's probably the best thing they could have done.
Just to see, just to show
see.
you. Yeah, just to show you, hey, you've been to a lot of places. Yeah, here's where I'm at with like health and stuff.
Wow. Okay. I figured out how to play it, and yeah, this is kind of fun.
I want to get all the shrines.
Yeah.
How many shrines are you at?
I don't know. I don't remember how to check it.
Everything disappeared.
Oh no, it's going. I think it just
yeah.
started over. Yep, there it goes. It's moving. He just flashing a lot there.
Yeah. There we go. Somehow I ended back up at the Great Plateau. I can't remember why though. But yeah, it literally loops the whole map. I've been so many places where I feel like I haven't been. If we sit here, it's gonna literally take forever. I feel like.
Well, I mean, it won't take any longer than 200 hours, as how Ross explained it. So we know how long it will take.
The first thing I did when I got the game is I went to every single tower to unveil all of the map.
I just figured out how I could do it fast. Okay, so you guys ready?
Yeah.
You guys ready?
Yep.
You seen that?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, yeah. There and back again.
Yep.
I'd show you mine, but I don't own it anymore.
Press side, it like does it fast. Like it just does every like major point if you press side on the D-pad.
You sold Breath of the Wild, man?
Yeah, I did years ago.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Why do you think I never went back and played it?
Because I thought you just didn't like it that much.
I would have played it by now.
If you don't,
I voted for it for Game of the Year that year. I was the deciding vote.
I thought you sold it.
Well.
Yeah, because I wasn't playing it.
Who voted against it?
You.
No, I didn't.
You voted Persona. Ross voted Breath of the Wild.
No.
Oh, I do remember that. You were mad about us not picking Persona 5.
Yeah, you were upset.
In my head, I don't think those came out in the same year. In my head,
2017 was stacked because I was repping Horizon and I also wanted Nier Automata.
Horizon is good. I didn't think it was Game of the Year. I really like Horizon a lot.
Yeah, and then
in a year of that coming out, I don't know if I dislike. So it's just not. I like both of those games a lot.
Listen, if you put a gun to my head now,
different day of the week, any day of the week, I could pick either or.
If I could go back right now, I would vote Persona 5. No offense to Breath of the Wild, I would just vote Persona 5.
Yeah.
Like, I voted for Breath of the Wild at the time, but that was just because, like, nobody was going to listen to me about Horizon. And then after, like, almost immediately after, I was like, I like Persona better. I should have just voted for Persona.
I think we were
Persona.
I think we were presenting our arguments, and I think I might have been persuasive.
No, you were emotional.
That's fair. Yo, that year,
and I just didn't want Ross to be sad.
I mean, it deserved it. That year, Horizon, Nier Automata, Breath of the Wild, Super Mario Odyssey, like
Odyssey is such a good game.
Crazy year for games, man. I wish they could spread that stuff out into multiple years.
Well, I mean, I got bad news for you.
I'm surprised how many of those games I've played. I to be honest, I haven't played much Near, but I have played Near Automata, like maybe like 5 hours in, and I have played. I know it's nothing, but I played a bunch of Breath of the Wild, as you can see, and I played a bunch of Persona, and I beat Horizon, and I played a bunch of Horizon. I haven't played the DLC, and I beat Odyssey, and I played a bunch of it as well. So
Yeah,
I'm just surprised as somebody who admittedly hasn't played as much games as I used to. That year was just like the oddball. I just played so many games.
Well, yeah, 2017 was just stacked.
It's one of the
I don't
best
know
years
that
for games ever.
I don't know that we'll ever have another year like that.
Yeah.
Especially now with COVID, because there's all these teams that are like, hey, like, you know, if a game wasn't like already 75% done by the time COVID rolled out, it's probably going to get delayed up to a year. A lot of stuff, like I was listening to, I think like the Bombcast the other day, and they were like, yeah, you know, I think it was Danny O'Dwyer who said it. And he was like, yeah, you know, talking to some of the people I know in development, he was just like, you know, a lot of games are going to slip. There's going to be a lot of games that are going to fall out of 2021, that are going to fall out of 2022, just because if they weren't already at a certain development milestone, they had to fully transition everything to, you know, to remote. And they said there are teams now that have had a year of that, and their 2021 games might become 2022 games. And he said, because they've already adapted to that. He said the new struggle is going to be what happens after that, because there's games that are newly in development that these teams don't know how to do this concept phasing, this alpha phasing in a remote environment. So he's like, you know, it's the games that, you know, are on the 2-year dev cycle that might now become like a 3 or 4 year dev cycle, because they have to figure out how to get the game started, let alone develop it. Because like that, he was saying, he's like, you can't just, you hear conversations about games of two people just meeting in the hallway and talking, they come out of the bathroom and it's like, hey, I got an idea. And that became the game. You can't do that in a remote environment. You can't do that in a Zoom call,
Yeah.
Yeah. So much of it is spontaneous.
You're taking away. Yeah, exactly. You're taking away the spontaneity of game development in a way. And like, what do you do? It's crazy to think about.
Yeah.
I wonder what games are going to look like 2 years from now. Like what that release schedule looks like 2 years from now.
I feel you.
It's crazy.
I don't know, man. Yeah.
But yeah. That
I guess that's what we've been playing.
Oh, we're done.
He hasn't gone over his yet.
Yeah.
He said he hadn't really been doing anything.
No, I said I meant to play a lot of other stuff, and I didn't. But I played some stuff.
Destiny.
I did
Apex?
actually. Destiny just had. I just played Apex for the first time today. I haven't played Apex in like a week. I played Destiny this week. They dropped it. Dude, they are killing it with the story this season. Like I loaded it up on the weekly reset after Divinity last night, and it was just like cutscene. And it's just this animated scene of Zavala like looking at the stars and shit, and fucking Cabal assassin shows up and tries to kill him. And they apparently they took the tech that they used to like trap the Traveler, and they condensed it in a way to steal the light from a Guardian, basically. So they had every capability of killing Zavala.
Wow.
Like final death, Zavala's gone. And they didn't. But like they're really building up, like Bungie's rolling with it. They changed the official Destiny 2 Twitter account to Keitel. So now all the tweets are just Keitel talking to people. And, people are like, why? Like, she's just like, we promised you, an alliance. Your Vanguard only promises us death. Like, what are you really fighting for? We're here to help you. And they're just killing us, And so they're really kind of making this a little like meta, and like they're taking the story places. It's really exciting. Like every week there's just something else happening in that game in a way that they didn't even do during Beyond Light. So
nice.
Like Destiny hasn't been this exciting in years. As crazy as that sounds. Every week I'm looking forward to what happens on Tuesday again. Like in a way I haven't since like Forsaken.
Nice.
So I'm pumped. I also played Valheim. Played a little more of that. Managed to get into a co-op game of that with Tony Cypher and TJ. We were playing a little bit,
Nice.
and playing anything with TJ. I was almost in tears laughing because TJ just has a way of just laying in my bed trying to sleep. He puts a chair on my bed and sits down on it. I'm just like, what are you doing?
It's fairly classic him.
Watching you sleep. Don't worry about it. Every time TJ comes in, he doesn't just enter. He breaks down the wall to come into my house.
He Kool-Aid Man's it.
Explosion. He just walks in, doesn't say anything, puts the wall back, goes to the other wall, smashes that wall, leaves, puts the wall back.
I mean, it sounds
I'm just like, what the hell is going on? Yeah, we went through. I'm still like gathering stuff, still kind of learning the mechanics of that game. I gotta tell you though, I like it a whole hell of a lot.
Nice.
Valheim is real. Like
buying it.
Valheim is worth all the hype that it's getting. As far as I can tell, I'm still really early, but like that game just kind of feels different than a lot of those other like survival. Than a lot of those other survival like building games. Like it just. Valheim is cool because like there's always an objective there. There's the thing of like, okay, you got to fight these bosses, but it's figuring out how to get there, figuring out where they are so you can summon them. And so like there's a lot of exploring, there's a lot of like building yourself up, and you can do it any way you want. Like you can go out and start fighting them right away. If you can find them, you can start, just building up your base and being like, okay, I want to be as decked out as I possibly can. It's really fun. The building is like a little. It's cool because you could build some really nice stuff, but it's a little like janky because there's a lot of mechanics to it that they don't explain. Like Valheim has load bearing walls.
Oh, wow.
So you can build stuff off of your house and rip down your wall if it doesn't have the support. And like, that's the thing is Valheim is one of those games, but they don't tell you that. So that's what they need to get a little better about. But like the moment I heard that, I was like, are you kidding? That's hilarious. No offense to Minecraft, but you got a Minecraft, a game where you can destroy something and just have floating blocks. And then you got Valheim with load bearing walls. And I'm just like, holy shit.
Hey. Don't talk shit about Minecraft.
No, I'm not talking shit. Minecraft has floating blocks. That's fact.
For our audio listeners, Nat just looked like he was in a great amount of pain.
Oh yeah, that was priceless. Our audio listeners just missed out right there.
I try to make myself cry a little bit.
I saw that. It looked like he was trying to force tears. But yeah, Valheim.
I'm trying to go for the podcast Grammy,
I don't think it's the Grammy.
They added some board and it sounded like bullshit, but I was like,
okay. But yeah, Valheim's really cool. I also played a little bit more of the Outriders demo, and I'm not as down on it as I was. I tried another class. We actually managed to successfully. Last week we talked about recording some stuff. Unfortunately, some of our planned content did not work out. I'm still talking with Elgato about that. We'll see what happens.
I was going to ask if there were any updates on that.
Well, no, I meant to try it though, because I changed it from 4K to 1080p and I haven't tried it. So I want to see if maybe it'll work better if I just do it in 1080p.
I thought we tried that.
We didn't.
Oh, okay.
That was the one thing we didn't do. They sent me another email today and they're like, hey, we need you to run this thing so that you can tell us if it's working right. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to try this and then I'm going to do that. But whatever.
Gotcha.
So we recorded something. It was me and Tony. Did something for Outriders. I made a new character, kind of took us through some of the early portions of that game. Like it's fine. Jesus, all the bots showing up. I'm like I said, I'm not as down on that game as I was. It's a part of me like just wants to give that game a fair shot. Because I it's just like, is it because there's not much else coming out, or is it because like I want to actually play the game? That's like that's the thing I'm trying to figure out right now.
See, Chris, this is the perfect time to go back and play some older games.
Yeah,
there's
but
not a bunch of new releases out.
I don't know what to do. Which one?
Where do you start?
You put all the games into random.org and then you hit randomize and you pick the one at the top. I've done that before. It's
Sounds
worked.
like a plan.
Yeah, I don't know, but I'm not as down on that game as I was, so I'm going to. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. I just pulled up Steam, covered you guys up, but I didn't hate it, So we'll see.
Great praise.
We'll see how I feel as we get a little closer to launch. I'm gonna try and play more of it and kind of see like, hey, how's it feel a week from now once I get a little higher and stuff, like level up this new character. I did the Technomancer this time, which is like, but here's my thing is like I had a little more fun because the character heals as they do damage, but all of their abilities are stupid. And it's not that the abilities themselves are stupid. Okay. So imagine, all right,
Imagining.
you're throwing like a football, and so you follow through and you release the football at like,
wait, American football or, football? Which one are we going with?
So you release the football at its highest point.
Football.
You're not releasing a soccer ball. Like,
If you're a goalie, man. Anyway, you're releasing the ball.
Anything you're throwing, if you're throwing it like overhand, you're releasing it at the highest point, okay?
Yes.
This guy feels like when he throws a grenade, he's releasing it about head height.
So
and
it's just going straight up?
Through. So it goes straight up and then arcs.
Huh.
So it just like, it's like he's like pulling it out like
sky.
Like imagine like you have a sword sheath behind your back and you're just throwing it from the sheath. That's how they throw grenades. So they're just like, huh,
He throws his balls up at the sky sometimes.
Straight out and then forward. And so like you're trying to throw them and you're like, okay, I want to throw it right here.
But
then the arc that it takes just doesn't work.
Not a Tayo Cruz fan.
I don't know if you heard what Ross just said. I think that was the moment where I lost all faith.
I'm really glad.
I heard, but I didn't get it, so it didn't affect me at all.
That's probably better.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just the way the character throws stuff. And then like if you aim down sights and throw, then the throw goes like, some games you can aim down your sights and then throw something and it'll throw it to where you were aiming.
Right.
This game just says, nah, I'm John Elway with the Nerf Vortex football, and I'm just going to launch this shit.
That's a nice John Elway pull.
Yeah, see? Yeah. So, like, you're just throwing the Nerf Vortex football, and, you can get 100 yards with that thing.
Is Kurt Warner your favorite quarterback of all time?
No, Peyton Manning.
Oh, right.
Peyton Manning.
Right. Peyton Manning. Right.
Yes, Peyton Manning. Please. No offense
Not
to
Jared
Kurt
Goff.
Warner, but Peyton Manning. I respect Jared Goff. Respect him less than I did, but I respect him. But yeah, it's just so weird. And so like, that's the thing is like everything I'm doing with that character, I hate except for the shooting. And so I don't know what to do. Like I got this turret and just like the grenade, it's like, hey, I want to deploy this turret. And it just kind of goes somewhere.
Interesting.
It's just, like, I feel like I don't have any control on where it's going. That's Outriders. It's like the new Spider-Man. It's like I like the swinging, but it's like at least the swinging in Spider-Man was exceptional, and in Outriders, like it's just
weird.
Outriders is the most unexceptional game I think I've ever played that just works. Like it is just nothing about it is special. Nothing about it stands out. Nothing about it is like noteworthy. It just kind of works, and it works in a specific brand of working. And for some reason, I really want to like it.
Interesting.
And I can't figure out why.
On that Spider-Man note,
it so bad.
I have something Spider-Man related that I want to grab real fast that just arrived.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
All right. It is the most exceptionally unexceptional game. God, I have a problem. I don't know why I want to like it so much.
Okay. So I'm back. This is going to be more for the video watchers, but my Spider-Man Miles Morales vinyl just came in. And
a hot
I want to show you the actual vinyls themselves because, here's the inside artwork, which is pretty sick. It's
just to describe it for our audio viewers, it looks like the Miles Morales from the movie.
and then
wait, is this the movie soundtrack or the game?
The game.
I'm sorry, it looks like the Miles Morales from the game. He
So
didn't correct me, I did.
There's 2 vinyls in here, and here's the first one.
I already like that. a lot. So again, vinyl, everybody knows the big round vinyl. There's like a red, like hourglass kind of curved shape in the middle of it that looks particularly sharp.
Yep.
I'm trying to really sell the audio viewers on this.
You're painting a word picture, and I appreciate that.
I'm trying. Do you feel like I'm conveying this well?
Very much so, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
And then here's the second one.
Oh my God. Okay, so this one now, this is weird. So it's a purple vinyl. Still has like the hourglass shape in the middle, but this time it's green. So it's like
the Prowler.
Help me. Prowler. Thank you.
Yep.
So it's like a Prowler vinyl.
So yeah, it's just got this in. So can't wait to start listening to it because that game had a great soundtrack. So
yes, it did.
That game and the movie had both amazing soundtracks. Man, Miles Morales is cool.
I think let's be real. Miles Morales is just the best Spider-Man. I mean, you can't dispute facts. Facts are facts, okay? And just Miles Morales is better.
That's fair.
I finished that one. I mean, come on.
Yeah, and if Chris finishes a game, that's the only time you know he likes it.
Who am I to deny the swagger of a black teenager? You know. Thank you, IGN.
Or was that GameStop? Or
was that IGN? Wait, who was it? GameSpot or IGN?
I'm pretty sure it was GameSpot.
I'm sorry. Whoever wrote it, thank you for that.
It's the most shocking thing about that to me is that it made it past multiple people proofreading that.
Do you want to know what's even crazier that made it past multiple people? I don't know if you guys saw my tweet this week. My big tweet. Burger King.
Oh, yeah.
Burger King
UK
yeah,
I saw that. Yep.
Posts, women belong in the kitchen. End tweet. Then they decide to post a thread under it being like, only if they want to be. Only 20% of chefs in the UK are women, and we want to help them do it. And it's just like, Burger King. Everybody stopped caring right here where you said women belong in the kitchen. How does that happen? It took them a day to realize, like, hey, this was maybe a bad idea.
Yeah, that's what
I screenshot it so they can't get away from it. You know?
So they're brands that can take advantage of like shock value marketing, right?
But that's not shock value.
Not
marketing.
Burger King.
Not especially not Burger King UK. It's like
I'm saying, like, if you're an edgy, up and coming like liquor brand or something, yes, you could go for the shock value.
Wendy's is probably the edgiest, like they are the roastiest, edgiest Twitter account on the whole site. Wendy's wouldn't touch that tweet with a 10-foot pole.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't think Wendy's even replied to that. I don't think they wanted their brand anywhere close to that statement.
Yeah.
When Wendy's won't touch you, you're wrong.
Live. And I was saying, I've seen Tony saying, I'm waiting for Wendy's response. And I was about to be like, I don't think Wendy's is going to respond to this. Like,
no, if they're smart, they don't.
Yeah, they don't want their name anywhere close to that. Maybe 2
years from now, they just be like, hey, remember that time Burger King said some real dumb stuff? And they don't say it, but just be like, Burger King's going to try and come at Wendy's. They're going to be like, remember the time you told women about stuff,
Yeah, I think that was
Wendy's a lady.
That was the exact same statement that led to Colin Moriarty leaving Kind of Funny. Was he made that statement on International Women's Day? Good times.
It's stupid. It was real stupid, and it was International Women's Day, and they posted that. And, like, everybody looking at and then they're in there defending it. They're like, yeah, no, everybody's like, this is a bad take. And they're like, what? Because women shouldn't be chefs? What, you don't think that they deserve? We're trying to help women become chefs. And I'm like, first off, Burger King, chef is a strong word for what happens at Burger King, okay? Chef Mike, the microwave, does most of the cooking there. Billy the broiler and Chef Mike, okay? But
Fred the Fryolator.
Fred the
I'm trying to think of more
Fryolator.
names.
Yeah, you
What
know,
else is there?
like Burger King. No,
Yeah, that was.
and you know,
that was
there's other
interesting.
brands who were like taking some heat around that time, and they're just like Burger King. Yes,
Everyone, look over there. Yeah.
they're like retweeting. They're like, I can't believe Burger King would do this. Look at it. Go over there. Don't look
God.
here. Oh God, it was just so dumb.
Yep.
And like, somebody doesn't just do that. There's no one person in that department who just approves that. That's a department who has to look at that and be like, yeah, okay, let's do that.
Yeah, I mean, UK is like headlining recently, especially with the royal family interview with Meghan Markle and stuff that just happened, where she basically said on live TV with Oprah that, or not live TV, but like the royal family is racist. It's like we all know that, but like hearing confirmation is like, yeah, we know, but I'm not saying that.
Next, you're going to tell me they believe that the power of the country should rest on the throne. You know?
My favorite take from that whole UK thing is like, wait, so you're telling me the country that, you know, imperialized and settled 75% of the world and single-handedly killed off various groups of people to less than 50% of their original population is racist? The family that's been inbreeding for 300 years is racist? That's what you're telling me?
People just like have some weird like idealized view of like the royal family. It's like, why?
They think they're all prim and proper, and behind the scenes they're like black people. Am I right?
Let me tell you, Stockholm syndrome is a thing.
This is a video game podcast.
Royal family syndrome. They did it first. Yeah. Well, you know what?
I do really bad
video game week
because like it does have lots of shadows of like, and I'm too young for this, but like from what I hear about like Princess Diana and everything, it has shadows of that where it's very similar, and you see what happened there, and for them to just be like, and also like, and this is coming as a black person, Meghan Markle is very much white passing as far as mixed people goes. And it's just an extra layers. Like, you thought a baby between these two people, that one is completely white and one is very much white passing, and you thought the baby was gonna come out looking like Skepta or something. Like, what did you think? For one, like, so that was outrageous already. Two, so you're telling me the problem isn't what the baby looks like, because there was no way the baby was gonna come out looking with dark skin, because Meghan Markle doesn't have dark skin.
Right.
So that was the problem. One, your basis is just completely incorrect, and then two, like, so you're just saying, so you're just acknowledging that you have an issue with that the baby might look black. Like, even if he does, who fucking cares?
Their family portraits. They want everything to look like a blinding white light.
You know.
Yep.
What the fuck are they doing?
Good.
The people next door, I don't know what they're doing. They're just like, there is a lot of shaking coming from next door.
Well, I think we all know what that means.
They have the nerve to touch my wall when I'm having a good time playing Divinity. And then meanwhile, they're over there having a stampede of elephants.
Is that what the kids call it these days?
Yeah, they're reenacting the Circle of Life portion from the beginning of The Lion King. And they've got the whole kingdom.
It's just a live action reenactment of Jumanji next door.
Ooh, that's good too. Divinity. We played that again.
We did.
We had a good session yesterday.
Yeah, continued to make very little main story progress, but
stole a lot of stuff.
Yep.
Stole a lot of stuff.
We do stop to steal.
Always stop
quite
to steal.
Frequently.
Very frequently.
It's worth it though. We have a ton of money.
we have more money than we'll ever need at this point, and we're like barely into the game.
That.
I do know it. I'm a scientist.
Listen, next time we go back, we play the arena, and then we mosey. I mean, alternative, like, the thing is when you leave people alive, you have people to steal from, just.
Yeah.
Ross is going to go into every town now and just start a fight just to be like, no.
We need to find the balance. I'm not saying we shouldn't steal from a lot of people. I'm just saying maybe we shouldn't steal from everyone. Also, the same thing, I'm guilty as this, as the highest DPS person on the team. Like, I'm just like, maybe we shouldn't kill everybody. Maybe we kill half the town. Like, I don't know. Maybe we need to strike the balance.
No, we need to continue. We are full chaotic evil at this point.
No,
we need to maintain it.
But maybe we need to wait to be disrespected before we destroy everything.
Alternatively, don't give them the chance. Steal everything until we get caught. Kill the rest.
Everything.
Listen, we are so dead. We have to compensate for the lack of XP by getting better gear. I can steal all of that, okay? I got us a deck yesterday. Again. We upgraded everything again.
I think the thing is that when we do steal stuff, I feel like we have to stop to do it for like 10 or 15 minutes. And it kind of puts everyone
get away to turn me invisible, and then I can do it by myself. I need to be invisible, and then I can do it all by myself.
The craziest thing is that whole game, I was looking for the cloaking skill that I have and Cypher has, but literally there was like, no, fuck you, Nightmare. You're not getting it, because it didn't show up at all. Maybe if we didn't kill everybody, it would have showed up, but...
Yeah, I also have that skill. Literally, we all do except Chris. I just never use it because I'm the tank and I'm supposed to get attention. So I think that's a story mission.
Invisible and steal everything.
That's our next story mission, is to get Chris invisibility.
Yeah, get the skill. The best part, though, of last night, without a doubt,
gonna make a meme where all of us are like 5% like visible, and it's just gonna be like we're all here, and it's gonna be the same thing.
It's just gonna be me looking
lizard with the Crash Bandicoot mask, me the generic rogue, Ross the generic dwarf, and you the Minecraft skeleton.
The Minecraft skeleton with the hat,
the Robin Hood hat.
So there were two highlights last night. Okay, there was the time where Nat was about to get kissed by the lady, and he wanted us to watch. It's still hilarious.
Yeah, man.
And then there
on the train, I couldn't stop it.
There was the one where I got the beret and I put it on, and I was veiled undead, even though my face was completely exposed and completely skeleton.
It's the perfect kind of.
And
stupid.
I'm just talking to people, and they're just like, "Wow, you're very pale." I'm like, "Yes, it's a cream I use."
I'm a part of the royal family.
Yeah, sorry.
Sheesh.
Boom.
Oh God.
Listen, next week, I hopefully won't be held up at work too long, and I'll get home earlier, and we will do missions. We do need to loop back to do that thing for Riker, though. Because I do want to get more source, because now I have more abilities that can use source.
Yeah, I have like 3.
We need to figure out a way to get more source, like reliably get more.
Yeah, because like right now for me, I think
that's our next objective, really.
Right now for me, source is like an annoying mechanic. Like, I understand that source skills are supposed to be like super powerful, so you can't use them all the time. But at this point, we can use them so infrequently to where I just feel like it's almost spiteful that I just don't want to use them now, because it's like we never get source anywhere.
Right. But there's got to be a way to generate source, so we have to just find that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's make that kind of like objective 1B going forward, and then 1A is just whatever we're currently working on.
Yeah, because there's six source skills we all have. Like, I have one that I think completely fills up all armor and health for someone just automatically.
Dude, I just got the one that's like, it lets me throw out the blades in all directions. like to hit everybody around me, and it does good damage. Like that thing could be amazing. Just like let me stealth into the middle of a room. Everybody takes down their arm, and I'm just like, you're dead.
Yeah.
Blade barrage.
It's a good game. It's a really good game.
I have one similar, but it's just like I go in there and I shoot a fucking machine gun of my arrow.
Yeah, it's like I really like Divinity a lot. I'm excited to continue playing it for as long as it takes for us to kind of be done with the game. I'm also excited to someday start whatever our next game is as well.
Yeah, because there has to be something after this.
Oh yeah, this is going to be a regular recurring thing.
Yes.
Well, we already talked about playing Baldur's Gate 3, but we might take a break in between Divinity, because at this pace we might be playing Divinity for the next year.
Yeah, yeah.
Which, to be fair, will give Baldur's Gate enough time to go in.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It would be nice to break it up with maybe a shorter experience.
Or maybe just something different that like we can just kind of be a little more focused on or something. Maybe by the time we're done, Diablo 4 comes out and we play that.
Yeah, we should see. Yeah, Diablo 2 remake.
Don't let me, don't make it a game where I can steal a lot of shit, because I'm gonna. Don't think I won't. I'm gonna steal. Khajiit needs wares.
In terms of news stories,
I pulled a little bit. I didn't pull a ton.
It's just a quiet week.
Yes and no. Let's start with the big news, though. Microsoft has completed their acquisition of Bethesda. So they are now a wholly owned subsidiary of Microsoft. Specifically, ZeniMax Media is the purchased company. So Microsoft now owns, they own Doom, Fallout, Quake, Dishonored, Evil Within, Elder Scrolls,
Wolfenstein.
They're now the largest of the 3 first-party studios. They passed Sony, so they are the largest of the first party. They might have more studios than even someone like Activision or EA at this point. Or maybe Embracer's the only one still bigger than them in terms of like numbers. But in terms of like properties and development houses owned, Microsoft is maybe the biggest.
Yeah,
which is huge.
And yeah, I had forgotten up until this week that the deal wasn't finalized yet. So this is just kind of like, yeah, okay, it's done now. Now people can kind of move on. But
yeah, so Pete Hines did say that there wouldn't be any immediate changes to anything Bethesda's doing. But Phil Spencer did say, with the addition of the Bethesda creative teams, gamers should know that Xbox consoles, PC, and Game Pass will be the best place to experience new Bethesda games, including some new titles in the future that will be exclusive to Xbox and PC players. So confirming that there's going to be exclusives. There's a lot of hubbub around that, and I'm trying to kind of work my thoughts with that out into an article. I think the biggest issue is just like a lot of people are comparing this like, oh, well, Sony bought Insomniac, or, even EA buying Codemasters, which itself is like gobbling up some of your biggest competition in that space. Is his own problem, but still pales in comparison to Microsoft being like, hey, here's $7.5 billion, which, mind you, is about 22% of EA's overall worth as of 2021. To put that in perspective, and we just took all these things, and who knows what is and is not multi-plat anymore. And now there's a whole section of players who might not be able to play a new Fallout, a new Elder Scrolls, or something like that, a new Dishonored. And that's crazy that you're taking all that off the table. Like, buying Bethesda is very different than buying an Insomniac. Just like, it was different when Microsoft bought Playground, who is a predominantly Xbox development studio. They made their name on Forza, they were getting ready to make their name on Fable. It made sense for them to join that creative team. It made sense for Insomniac to join. It made sense for the developers of Luigi's Mansion to join Nintendo. Those are all logical acquisitions where, hey, we're already working on first-party properties that you own. We're doing this, and this is what we want to continue doing. It makes sense. Bethesda is just this whole can of worms, and like this just leads me to the future of like, okay, there's the big corporations, there's the Microsoft, the Googles, the Amazons, and stuff like that. What are going to be the big corporations in the end when this turns into an arms race? You know, when and if. You know, when Activision decides, okay, well, now we need to start buying people because we can't let somebody else do it. And then EA is like, well, if they're going to buy people, we're going to buy people. Where does it end? Mm-hmm. That's not throwing shade at Microsoft. That's just like this just feels like it's going to kind of turn into an arms race kind of thing. Once you buy someone like Bethesda, nothing's off the table.
Yeah. Agreed. Yeah. And, I got nothing else to say about that. Time will tell, I guess, more than anything. So
I just don't want everything under like a handful of banners because all these major publishers are too scared to take chances. That's the biggest issue. And like, you know, maybe Microsoft does take those chances and maybe this ends up being really good, you know, but like EA doesn't take chances. Activision doesn't take chances. That's why Activision releases like 4 or 5 games a year. And one of them is always Call of Duty. You know, they are risk averse.
I would argue for some time now, most AAA developers are not the source for particularly interesting games in general.
But they should be. Because they have the budgets. I know. And they should be. And that's the problem. And that's why I don't want all these creative teams and all these talented teams to get bought up by all these mega publishers who just happen to have the money because you're going to stymie creativity, you know? Even a CD Projekt Red, you know, like what if EA buys CD Projekt Red and just says, okay, make another Witcher? What does that do? What does that, you know, that denies that team the potential to make another game. If their next thing is, okay, here's make Witcher with a big budget, you know, or let's buy, I don't know why I'm blanking on like another, like,
well, jumping in. I think the example that people are worried of is like the banner example of a big publisher buying a development studio and then just seeing that development studio who had been fantastic kind of go downhill was EA and BioWare. Yeah. And it's like, we shall see what happens with the new Mass Effect coming up. We'll see how that is.
We'll see by Dragon Age.
Yeah, we'll see by Dragon Age. Which Dragon Age so far has been really well received, with the exception of the second game was a lot more lukewarm, but the first and Inquisition really well received. Yeah. So we'll have to see what happens with the new one. But
like, I'm just sitting here racking my brain. Like, somebody out there is looking at these other publishers, and like, you know, somebody with enough cash is looking and say, how much would it be to buy Take-Two? How much would we really have to put up to buy Take-Two and then have Rockstar under our umbrella? You know, That's the issue. Somebody is looking at that. I guarantee you someone is looking at that right now, and they are working the numbers, and they'll be like, okay, what would we have to do to buy that? What would we have to do to acquire Embracer Group? What would we have to do to acquire this or that? Because now that Bethesda was approved, again, nothing's off the table, you know? I feel like every week I come into this and I spell this doom and gloom scenario, but like, I just like, I think back to the time when like EA was like, hey, let's make new games. Let's make Dead Space. Let's make Mirror's Edge. And that was one of the best times in gaming. Like that 2008 year where EA was like, let's release a bunch of original properties that became beloved by fans that they proceeded to run into the ground. And it's like,
most disappointing game of the generation, Mirror's Edge Catalyst. Congratulations again.
It's just like your grasp of what made these games good.
Exactly. And it's like,
I don't feel like it takes a genius to realize, hey, if you change everything about the game, is it really that game anymore?
It's not. It's the ship of Theseus dilemma.
Or when you
If
try
anyone
to
watches WandaVision,
when you try to just monetize it to hell. You know, when you take a game like Dead Space and you put crafting in it and then you sell crafting materials, you're encouraging people to break the game because, hey, I can either buy this stuff and then have a really good weapon early and not be scared ever, or because that system's in the game now, you can now have these super overpowered weapons and it doesn't matter. You don't even need to spend money, but the game is worse because of it. Because now I have this stupid good gun that can kill anything. I don't need to interact with the mechanics. I have a gun that shoots harpoons at a machine gun rate.
yeah,
Nothing else matters. I can kill anything before it can get close to me.
Yeah, and I mean it goes back to on what used to be the generation of, or the generations of unlockables, player unlockables instead of DLC, and I think that's one of the reasons why I've been so into the sixth generation of consoles recently, the GameCube, the PS2, and the original Xbox, because that was the last generation before heavy DLC everywhere.
That was the last generation before everything was online.
Yeah, I mean, we got some of it, like Battlefront and Halo had DLC and stuff on original Xbox, but it was a lot less. And I just being able to unlock things in a game instead of having them behind a paywall necessarily, it feels good to go back. It feels like I'm going back into like a warm hug when I turn those consoles on and just remember how good that feels. Like Age of Calamity is great with that. Sure, there's the expansion pass that's going to have additional content, but like there's 18 unlockable characters in that game that you just get for doing stuff in the game. And like it felt every time a new one popped up, I got excited. And I was like, this is awesome. This is fun.
Yeah.
And it's like I miss that feeling. And it's never going to come back because it's just not the way things are anymore. So
perspective, I was looking at the Minecraft store on like whatever the Xbox edition is or whatever, and they sell skins, and I guess they're open for people to make, and there's a bunch of like, and this is me snitching here, non-licensed anime character skins that are like anime heroes or ninja heroes or something, and it's like, oh my god, and it's like a bunch of like really shittily made, not shit, like, because some of them look like okay, but it's like just skins that are being sold for like $5, and it's just like, do people not realize, like, I have like one of my favorite RPGs of all time is Breath of Fire 4, so I have a Breath of Fire 4 skin as my character, and but you could just go on Mojang's website and upload a skin, but they're selling packs.
I think that only works for the Java version, though, doesn't it?
Because my Java skin is both on the Bedrock edition and the Java edition.
Okay. But like that's the thing, like you said, like that. There's a perfect example.
Mm-hmm.
You know, here's Minecraft. Microsoft buys them. Now all of a sudden, Minecraft is more accessible than it's ever been. But now everywhere but Java, you buy skins, you buy texture packs, things that were free that you just go online and download. All of a sudden, they're in this curated store that you could just pay money and get the things, and they're all real nice. Trust us. And it's like the Java, they won't even let the Java version interact with Bedrock because why would you? Hey, where'd you get that skin? I got it for free on Planet Minecraft. Why would you let people do that? Why would you take down your walled garden when you could just leave it up and sell people Commander Shepard as a skin?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the thing. That already happened. Microsoft made a big acquisition, and now Minecraft costs money to do things that were free. The version that they're going to support going forward, as Java will eventually be sunset.
It was funny because it was like there's a skin pack which made me real sus of it. It was supposed to be an Among Us skin, and it was called Among Sus, and I just had to close the shit. I was like, oh shit.
That's so bad. Oh god. Oh, that's that.
Yeah. That's what I was smiling about like 5 minutes ago when you were talking before about this. My friend Richard is on Minecraft, and I renamed his llamas in his pen, uh, Lisa and Lionel, but they have two L's, like you spell llama, and I was really proud of that. So it's like
I like it.
two
I
L's,
like it a
and Lionel
lot.
with two L's.
I like it.
It's the little things.
Speaking of the little
really funny.
things,
I was really proud of myself when I did that. I was like, that's genius.
What little things, Chris?
getting the little things right can sometimes pay off big, like it did for game director Nate Fox and creative director Jason Connell of Sucker Punch. They are being given hold on. They will become permanent tourism ambassadors of the city of Tsushima.
Nice.
From the island. They are so happy with what they did with that game that they are making them tourism ambassadors for as long as they want it. So this is the statement from the mayor. They spread the name and history of Tsushima to the whole world in such a wonderful way. Even a lot of Japanese people don't know the history of the Genko. That's how you say that, right? Genko?
I believe so.
I think so. Yeah.
Close.
Period. When it comes to the world, the name and location of Tsushima, when it comes to the world, the name and location of Tsushima is literally unknown. So I cannot thank them enough for telling our story with such phenomenal graphics and profound stories.
That's awesome.
Yeah, the appointment of tourism ambassadors from today until Mr. Jason and Mr. Nate no longer wish to have it. In fact, I had been thinking and discussing about appointing the role to them ever since I discovered they were using Tsushima's name as the name of their work.
That's great. I know that they worked really closely with Sony of Japan, as well as like the actual like city itself, the island of Tsushima, to try to get as many things as accurate as possible within reason for a game to be fun. And like I watched like an hour-long interview with Nate Fox, Shuei Yoshida, and a Japanese historian just talk about the game. And it's like it's obvious that they really cared about, especially as a Western developer, presenting all of these things as like respectfully and accurately to an extent as possible. So that's cool. That's cool to hear. That's a nice little piece of positivity. I know that after the game came out, like when Japan had been hit by that tsunami, one of the I think gates or shrines in Tsushima was like really badly damaged, and after when the game came out, like
at the Watsumi
money.
Shrine, I believe it was
Yeah.
the Torii Gate.
Yes,
I have
the Torii
that's
Gate.
that's in this article. Yeah, they crowdfunded 540% of their goal thanks to the game because fans went in. Over 2,000 people contributed, and so that was really nice. And for what it's worth, in Japan, Ghost of Tsushima was the best launch week of any first-party PlayStation 4 game to date,
and it is a phenomenal game.
Yeah,
well
and that's also saying a lot because the PlayStation 4 doesn't really resonate with the Japanese audience as much as it used to.
Yeah. It's Chris, talk about a game. I know Nat said he was gonna. I think that co-op mode could be super fun. That could be our next thing in between games. After Divinity,
could be our next thing.
That's something that's like not super long.
6 hours in the other day. Not 6.
Nice.
I think I stopped for like 2 hours, but I think I played like 4.
Nice, because that's 4-player co-op. They have different classes. I think they have like a number of missions. I think that would be the perfect palate cleanser after Divinity. Just saying. I think that would be a lot of fun.
Hey, I'm down.
For news on my front, Build-A-Bear's releasing an Animal Crossing line.
Of course they are.
I don't want to go to Build-A-Bear, but I do want an Animal Crossing Build-A-Bear.
You don't want to look like a creep.
Animal Crossing, and I kind of want an Animal Crossing build.
I need to see this.
Yo, you need to find like a young family member and take them to Build-A-Bear and use that as your
I don't need a young family member. I'll just go.
Well, you look like a creepy dude.
I am not afraid.
I'm not gonna speak to anybody. You only
I'm
look
just gonna
crazy
go
if
in.
you're
I'm gonna be like, yo,
speaking
you got
to little
Isabel?
kids.
Yeah, put it in the machine.
Well, it's like the Lego store. You can't go in without a kid or something.
Wait, what?
Like
Adults buy Legos.
it's weird. Lego stores around here are weird. I don't know if that's like a national policy or something. I don't understand it, but
They don't have any
Adults buy
movie
Legos.
releases. I need to see what these look like.
here. I don't know if they have many pictures of it, but this was from
You
Kotaku.
know what? Build-A-Bears are so fucking expensive too.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I had a Build-A-Bear and I left it in my move because my ex-girlfriend gave it to me, but it was a really nice bear.
Yeah. So they literally just announced this, so there's no like images or anything yet. But yeah, that's coming soon.
So I know they've done other stuff like Sonic, and they've done like Mario and Pokemon and stuff. I've seen those, and I wanted to go get a Pokemon one, but I let it pass me, and I kind of regret that. But I would go for like Isabel is great. Tom Nook, I would get a Tom Nook Build-A-Bear. That's just cute as shit.
Here we go. I'm in the chat. I'm putting the link so you can sign up for email and text updates as things become available.
I was on the website. I'm not giving them my email.
Oh god.
Fair enough. So
they have a Oogie Build-A-Bear right now.
They have a what?
From Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh yeah. Oh, it has piqued Chris's interest.
I might be down with that.
They have a Baby Yoda one too.
Yeah, that's so.
Anyway, do you have any other stories, Chris?
Yeah, sad story. V1 Interactive. Not sure if that rings any bells. Studio led by Marcus. Is it Leto or Leto?
Leto.
Leto.
Yeah, from the old Bungie team
of Halo fame.
Yep.
Is shutting down. Creators of Disintegration, which.
What?
Yeah, no, it's very mean to say. Disintegration was one of those games. It was a game. You were a robot. You were on like a flying motorcycle, and you were commanding like a group of people on the ground. I feel like all of those games are super niche and often fail. So I don't know why that was the game that they decided to lead with. The game always looked like it just wasn't going to take off, and it didn't. And I remember last year, within like 4 or 5 months, they shut down the multiplayer servers.
I just realized I had the Zencaster screen on my right screen, and I was like, why do I feel like I look weird this episode? Because I keep looking at the right screen and not the left screen where my camera is.
But yeah, they said they're officially closing. They wanted to thank their talented people who helped make the last 5 years they've been in business. Wonderful. Marcus Leto did get out there, though, with this tweet. At V1, our priority has been to the well-being of our employees. We've been transparent with them about the state of things for months and are making this decision now so they have ample time to search for new jobs while being supported by our studio. So it sounds like they kind of got out ahead of this. They kept their employees in the loop. So this isn't like a surprise, like, hey, we're shutting down today, you're screwed, which is good on them.
Maybe
they're handling it well.
Maybe Marcus Leto ends up taking the Joseph Staten route, ends up back working on Halo again. Who knows?
Maybe he ends up back at Bungie.
Maybe he ends up back at Bungie.
He's in a good place right now.
Yeah. I hope all those people land on their feet. That sucks.
Yeah. Hope the best for them, but yeah, it's sad to see. Sad to see. Last piece of news, not really like anything crazy. It was just a funny thing. I believe it was yesterday as of this recording. Yeah. Counter-Strike Global Offensive was removed from Steam. Temporarily. Wow. Just disappeared. Didn't exist. Mm-hmm. This is a Kotaku story. I think it's from Steam database originally. So there were a couple of other games that got pulled, but basically the store page presented like an oops sorry message, its concurrent player count dropped to like nothing. So Valve told Kotaku the disappearance was just a hiccup on the back end. Something happened at some point that basically removed Counter-Strike from the database. So Steam didn't know it existed anymore. So anybody playing it was just like, it just didn't work. It was gone from like, I think it was like gone from people's libraries, and like you could not play it if you weren't like already in. I don't know if that affected people who were like in game at the time, but just like imagine that Counter-Strike Go just one day. Yeah. Okay, bye.
That's well, out of all the games for that to happen to, that's
one of the biggest in the world.
Yeah, that's a hell of a one for it to happen to. My God. Oh, well, fair enough.
Yeah. I just thought like that was a funny thing. It's not like, groundbreaking news, but it tickled me a little bit,
Yeah,
that's crazy.
It's always nice to be tickled
about it.
Yeah.
Like, CSGO is such a big game that I feel like people have a big hoopla about it.
Yeah, I mean, like for perspective, I'm gonna block you guys again real quick. Hold on.
How dare you?
I dare. Let's see. Right now, it is the number one game on Steam right now. Concurrent players 434,000, peak today over 1 million.
People realize.
Imagine that just being gone.
Gone. Just
like
gone.
Thanos snapped away.
By God.
He did it. I think that's probably like, God, that's probably their peak player count was probably like the rest of the top 100 list combined. Maybe not. Maybe that's being a stretch.
Think
but
about
like, that's just how popular that game is.
I wonder how much money Steam makes off of knives and box openings and stuff. And how long was that gone? How much money did they lose for that being gone for however long?
Yeah, right?
It's a lot.
That's a good chunk of change.
More than all of us make combined, probably.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's why Uranium was saying in the chat before, he's like, who's going to try and buy out Valve? Nobody's going to buy out Valve. Valve is going to be one of the survivors. Valve's going to be one of the ones that comes out of this unscathed. I think the only people who could probably try would be Microsoft.
Yeah.
But I just don't think it's worth the investment for them.
I don't see Valve getting acquired, and I don't see Rockstar getting acquired.
Well, Rockstar's already acquired. They're part of Take-Two.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
So whoever buys Take-Two gets Rockstar. That's the thing. That's why they're the big one that like people are going to look at and they're going to be like, what do we have to do to buy them? Remember, like it was like 2008, wasn't EA trying to buy them for like $2 billion?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And like they almost got it. They were going to do a hostile takeover. It's a crazy world. But yeah, it is what it is. I don't know if I'm going to run that article. Like I want to run it, but like at the same time, I'm just like, you know what? Maybe we just don't need the discourse. Maybe we can just let this ride a little bit. And maybe it's something I come back to a couple months from now and I can just be like, I fucking told you, I'm gonna let history decide this, not me.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea, to be honest.
But I gotta get something going up. I feel like the itch to write something, but I don't really know what it is.
I get that. I've definitely had that before.
I gotta push through it and get something on the site. That isn't a podcast.
I need to get a new chair. This chair is fucking annoying me.
Can I suggest Secret Lab?
They're not on sale anymore.
Not sponsored.
And at the price point of $400, I feel like I should just buy a Herman Miller.
You're wrong because you're not going to get a Herman Miller for anywhere close to that.
I could buy a used one.
Why buy used when you can have a 5-year warranty on a brand new Secret Lab chair?
With 7-year warranty, so you buy a used one. You still, even if somebody used it for 2 years, you still get 5-year warranty.
But you have to register it, don't you?
You could transfer their register.
You gotta make sure they do it.
Yeah, but I wouldn't buy it if I couldn't. I'm just saying that's the dilemma I'm in my head. Is if I'm gonna spend $400 on this chair, I might as well just go all in and get a Herman Miller chair. even at that point, because if I buy the Secret Lab chair, I'm not gonna want to spend any chunk of change. So if I'm already gonna spend 400. I might as well just spend the full grand on a Herman Miller. Like if I'm
No.
This is where I sit
Not
back.
how that works.
Yes, it does.
You don't just jump from 400 to 1,000.
Yo, if you're cash flush like my man
More than
Nat,
the cost of the chair.
You feel me?
No, I don't. Not even a little
See
bit.
me, my bad boss man.
If you were just like, yo, I'm not gonna spend 400. I'm gonna just spend the 599 or whatever. Like that's at least like a reasonable jump. But you're like, if I'm gonna spend 400, I might as well spend $1,000.
Yeah.
Come on.
makes sense to me.
I could buy the Ford Focus, or I could buy the GT Mustang. I don't know. I don't know.
But that's my problem. Is that's why I don't have a car. Is because every time I'm like, yo, I should just buy a hoopty. I'm like, or I can put $5 more grand on it.
A car is different than a chair. You don't go cheap on a car. You don't need to go crazy expensive, but you do not go cheap on a car.
You don't go cheap on a chair either. You know how much time I spend in this chair with you guys?
This is a nice chair. I'm just saying you could get a really good chair for $400. This is an economy vehicle.
Best chair.
Okay, do you need a Mercedes?
Maybe.
You don't need a Mercedes to get to work.
I'm just saying. A chair is an investment for my back. You know?
If you're keeping your chair longer than your car, what the fuck are you doing?
Hey, man, Herman Miller sells replacement parts and everything. And with my nice 7-year warranty, I won't have to worry about it for 7 years.
I replace my chair every 4 years. Replace my car every 3. Boom.
Hey, man, I ride a completely different $1 million subway cart every day.
Yeah, he's the biggest. That's the biggest spender out of all of us.
All right, fair enough. Oh my god! All right, you guys got anything else that we wanted to touch on this week?
So instead of either, what if I get a Peloton and just ride a Peloton while we play games from now on?
Okay, you might as well, like, if you're missing Pelotons, then you're eating bagels with lox. Let's end this.
I'm not eating bagels with lox.
It's so good though, but I don't want a Peloton.
I'm not.
It is. Do you like salmon by itself?
I mean, I do.
Yeah,
I like just not combining it with cream cheese.
Man,
if the chair was really comfortable, he wouldn't have got out of the ground. What I'm saying.
And he hasn't heard that, which makes you get the last word. Yes. Oh god, yo, Nat, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna put you onto something, and I think it's the perfect gateway to bagels with lox. Hear me out.
I don't want a gateway.
So there's this thing called Sushi Pizza, where it's basically like they form the rice into like a pizza crust, and then they fry it, and then they put cream cheese, and they put salmon, and it's delicious.
No, I don't want a bagel with lox.
Have you tried it?
Yes, I've told you I've tried it. I hate it.
Okay, then you're good.
And that shit
was
you tried it first because it was like that shit was expensive too. You know what's worse than not getting something you don't like? Most times I'm like, maybe I don't like it this time. I tried it again. That shit was damn near $20. I was like,
money. I thought money was no object for you though.
Not when it comes to a chair that can save my back and save me years of chiropractic and therapy. Like,
we see the cup noodles
noodle model kit.
Yeah, that's stupid. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that's stupid.
I didn't want to say. I just wanted him to see it.
It's like talk about spending money for no reason. Spending it on a cup noodle model kit,
which is funny.
Huh?
Chris didn't hear the best part of our chair argument, which is funny.
You have to listen back.
What was it?
Yeah, no. You have to listen to
I'm not going to listen back. You either tell me or I'm not going to hear it.
You're not going to hear it then.
Because it was one of those you just got to leave that there.
I think that's where we ended this week.
Okay. I got to build my cup noodle kit.
It's the dumbest thing you might have ever bought.
That's why
I'm going to go on record right now.
That's why I bought it.
How much was it?
I bought it just to hurt. It was like $24.
Okay, so objectively, right? Objectively,
I don't want to be here anymore.
at Walmart are 50 cents.
Okay. But
Could have bought
we're comparing
48 cups of noodles. One every year. They have like a 2-year lifespan, and you literally could have had a legitimate cup of noodle on display.
We are comparing a perishable to a model kit. It's not the same thing.
Just say you literally could buy them and then have the option of eating them and then replace them legitimately.
I'm not going to eat them, though. I don't want them. I bought the model kit because it was stupid. It was strictly why I bought it, because it was stupid.
Why'd you waste the money?
Because I have the money to waste. It's not like spending an extra $600 on a chair or anything.
It's the same thing.
It's
not the same thing. The Herman Miller chair is the epitome of luxury for your back.
I mean, you really don't know that until you have it.
I've sat in them because I've edited at Discovery Suite, helping my friend while I shouldn't have been in there, and they have Herman Miller chairs, and I was like,
well, I shouldn't have been there. Listen, man.
I'm just saying,
you can get a quality chair.
Some of those crazy wedding shows where they got those like Zilla brides and stuff. I have a couple cut on those shows that I'm not credited for.
All right. I want to show one other thing since I'm doing show and tell. So yeah, for the audio listeners, I had a cup noodle model kit. I also got this. This is from Bungie. They had this thing where you could buy these challenge coins.
Yeah, if they were Beyblades, I would freak out.
I would have been instantly more impressed if they were
Beyblades. No, they weren't going to be Beyblades.
I used to have a bunch of Beyblades. Those were sick.
I used to have the arena and would bring it to elementary.
Yeah,
real nice.
Yeah, dude.
Real metal. These things are really nice. I like them a lot.
Yo, I was a camp counselor when I was in college, and Beyblade was still a thing. Some kid brought their Beyblade arena and Beyblades.
Beyblades not going to go away,
man.
Oh man,
Beyblades never going to disappear, man.
I have a Beyblade game for. I have the Beyblade game for PS1. Never played it, but I have it.
I forget that Beyblade is like PS1 old.
Beyblade is great. Every accessory for Beyblade is terrible. The anime, the games, they had cards at one point. Just stick to Beyblades. They're cool enough as is. You don't need much to sell.
How do you do a Beyblade card? You just say let it rip and then just throw the card at your friend?
Well, they had like cards that came with there was like a trading card game, and they try to incentivize you to get into the trading card game because there was like rare Beyblades that came with cards. So like you would buy a Beyblade and it would come with like 2 or 3 cards to try incentivize you to getting it. I know because before Kmart closed, I went back and bought a Beyblade, and I was like, "What are these fucking cards?" It was the trading card game.
That's how I got my.
That's when what are those stupid roly-poly things that were like Beyblade but not nearly as cool because all they do is bounce off each other? Byakugan or something?
Bakugan?
No, I don't know. I think it's maybe, I don't know.
Byakugan is a Naruto ninja technique.
I don't know.
If that's what you're thinking of.
It was a ball that would roll out, and they would like roll around until they stopped.
Sounds like Bakugan.
They would fucking flip open, and it'd be like a dragon or a wolf or some shit. And then
I only know because
magnets would click under the fucking dual disc fucking arena thing, and then one would get ejected, and the little kids would scramble and run after it.
You better respect Bakugan, or Lance Reddick's gonna come for that ass.
Hey man, come for me. My ass would be very comfy in my Herman Miller chair after I ball out.
Yeah. You're going to spend $1,000. Dan's going to be sitting in his chair. Yeah, this is really nice. Was it worth it? No.
Hey, man. Ask Reggie what's up with the Herman Miller chairs, man.
Listen, man, I want that Logitech chair. I'm not spending $1,500 on that damn chair.
I might have to. I might just have to triple the price, just level up on them. Just so you know, word to some of the scammers. It's the pandemic. You got to level up now and then.
I could have an affordable chair that accomplishes all my needs, or I could spend 3 times the price
and get exactly what I want, though.
People splurge on different things.
I know.
People are
If you
It's
just
just
knew
he
how
needs a
much-
chair, and the reason he's not buying it is because he doesn't want to spend the money. So he won't get a
I want
chair.
you to
So
look
he's
up
gonna
how
keep
much
this
these
chair.
cost, and I literally destroyed them. They're destroyed.
I'm just saying.
I'm just
you
saying
could
I've
have hacked the
wasted
chair
more money
already.
on dumber things before.
I'm just saying you
We've
need a
always-
chair. You're still waiting for a new chair. You should just get a new chair.
Or I could just get the chair.
Then get the chair.
This is going in circles.
He's not gonna buy it. That's the thing. He's never gonna buy it.
The lack of faith in my dumb decisions, is appalling. Let me
This
live
is
my
the
life,
man-
Chris.
This is the man who still hasn't finished Kingdom Hearts 3,
I
and
told
this
you.
is the end
here's
of the
thing is,
podcast.
he acts like I've never admitted that I don't plan on finishing it.
I feel like it comes up every week.
Waited his whole life.
Not whole
Didn't
life.
finish it.
Not whole life.
Might as
Approximately
well have
7
been.
years.
Everybody, thank you for listening and watching, and however you're doing it, we appreciate it. And we'll catch you next week.
Hey, man,
Bye-bye.
y'all should subscribe and like and do all that, leave ratings and all that, and hopefully we get a sponsorship so everybody can have Herman Miller chairs.
Herman Miller, if you're listening, I will take a chair. Secret Lab, I paid for this. Yeah.
I'm
They
just saying,
just
if
gave me
if
an
Secret
extended
Lab wants to
warranty.
cut in and send me a chair, maybe we could talk, we can negotiate things. But I'm just saying,
We'll tell 12 whole people about our Herman Miller chairs.
if you own a locks shop that makes locks bagels, go fuck yourself. I just had to say, I wanted to see if I could get Ross to jump in his chair while leaning back, and I couldn't.
Thanks. Bye.